What's up YouTube, Silver Baggins here, and in this video I'm covering a really exciting topic on which is better to stack, 3 nines fine silver or 4 nines fine silver. Let's do it! Thank you so much for watching another one of my videos. I sincerely appreciate it. This is going to be a really awesome one on 3 nines fine or 4 nines fine silver, which is better to stack, buy, if you're a stacker, prepper, all that stuff. It's going to be an awesome video. Lots of really good content on the subject and great debate. But first, if you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing because I got a lot of really awesome silver related content coming out. Okay, now let's get to the topic at hand. Which is better to stack, 3 nines fine or 4 nines fine? And real quick, at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, why you absolutely should have some 4 nines fine silver in your stack. So definitely stick around for that. But let's start with the difference. What is the difference between 3 nines fine and 4 nines fine silver? What are we even talking about? So a lot of silver is stamped 3 or 4 nines fine. Let me give you some examples. This one here, it's an owl, and right here at the bottom it says 1 ounce 0.999 fine silver. So this one is 3 nines fine. That means it's 99.9% silver. So basically pure silver. It has a whole ounce of pure silver in there, okay? 99.9% silver. That's referred to as 3 nines fine, okay? So when we're talking 3 nines fine silver, well, when they refined it, they only refined it to 99.9. And then what's the fourth number? Is it a 9? Is it a 3? Is it a 1? Is it a 5? Well, we don't actually know, but if it was a 9, then they would probably stamp it 4 nines fine silver. Some silver we do know, like the American Silver Eagle we know, is actually refined to 99.93% silver, which is kind of a cool fact. And these ones actually just say fine silver on it right here. 1 ounce fine silver at the bottom. So it's basically just referred to as pure silver. 3 nines fine is the industry standard, and that is generally thought of as pure silver. If you want to get pure than the 3 nines fine, then there are some products offered that are 4 nines fine, like the Canadian Maple Leafs. The new stuff coming out of the Perth Mint is 4 nines fine. You can see there at the bottom. It's a 2019 1 ounce kookaburra. It's 99.99% silver. And some people have a strong preference what they stack. Some people really want 4 nines fine stuff. That's what they prefer. Some people don't care. They're cool with 3 nines fine. And so let's talk about that. So first off, what's the rest of it? Okay, so if I have a piece of silver, like a Britannia here, and it is 3 nines fine, you can see right up here, 999 fine silver. What's the rest of this Britannia if it's not actually pure silver? So what's the other 0.1%, right? Or probably less than 0.1%. If this was 99.93 like the American Silver Eagle, then it'd be 0.07%. What's the other 0.07%? It's usually copper. So this coin right here does have a full ounce of silver, and it does also have a little tiny bit of copper in it as well. There might be some other metals in there other than copper, just very, very fine trace amounts, but those don't really matter. So it's mostly silver, the rest is copper. Then like 4 nines fine, this probably does have some copper in it as well, the 99.99, but it has even less copper. So this is more refined, but does that mean it has more silver than the 3 nines fine? Actually, no. They both contain 1 ounce of silver. And I'm going to kind of contradict myself because they both contain a minimum of 1 ounce of silver. There actually probably is slightly more than 1 ounce of silver in the 3 nines fine as well as the 4 nines fine. Let me explain what I mean by that. So when the silver is bought by the mints, they need to buy it in the form of planchets, which are pretty much just discs in the right diameter, but they don't actually have any imprint on them. That's why I brought this out here. I don't have any planchets, but I actually poured this myself. This is just poured silver, and I kind of wanted to give you an example. Just imagine this was a circle, and it's a little bit thicker and odd shaped, but if this was just a circle, it's blank on both sides, right? That's pretty much what a planchet looks like. So there's just nothing on it. And all of these originally looked like that, not exactly like this, but if you can imagine that in this shape, just with nothing stamped on it, okay? So they buy it in that form, and then it goes through their press, and it goes chink, 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 and it stamps out just millions of these, right? With whatever design on it. It has an American Silver Eagle on it, it has a kookaburra, whatever, it doesn't matter. But originally it was just a planchet. And the planchets have to be at least a minimum of 1 ounce of silver, right? A government can't sell a coin and say it has 1 ounce of silver in it if it has less than 1 ounce of silver. So they're all going to have a very, very slightly tiny little bit more than 1 ounce of silver. So if you're stacking 3 nines fine or 4 nines fine, it doesn't really matter how much it was refined. If you want to stack more silver on that minute of a level, then really you should be looking for the mint or private, government or private mint, like this is just a private round here, that has a little bit heavier planchets. And that's pretty much impossible to tell. So there's no really way to tell if it's going to be a little bit heavier or not. In fact, actually I have a scale here, we can weigh them. And so I just sort of want to prove that it doesn't matter if you're stacking 4 nines fine or 3 nines fine silver. Either way, you're getting 1 ounce of silver. So let's weigh some of these. Okay, so I got a scale out here, and we can actually measure the 3 nines fine and the 4 nines fine. You can see it's OZT up there at the top. So let's throw some of these Canadian maple leafs on. These are all 4 nines fine, and we'll see how much they weigh. So we got 1.01 ounces troy, so a little bit over 1 ounce. Okay, let's put another one on. 1.01 ounces troy. So you can see they're a little bit over 1 ounce. You're getting a little bit of free silver in there. 1.01. Can you see the theme? Most of these are probably 1.01. 1.01. Let's do another one. 1.01. So they're all a little bit over 1 ounce of silver. 1.01. Let's do this last one for good measure. 1.01. So you can see they're all just a hair over 1 ounce. I'm not going to do the kookaburras because those are in capsules, but let's do some of the 3 nines fine silver and see how much those weigh. Okay, so let's do the owl first. 1.01. Okay, let's do the Britannia. 1.01. You starting to see a pattern here? Let's do the American Silver Eagle. 1.01. So look at that. They're all just a little bit over 1 ounce of silver. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you all. It doesn't matter if you're stacking 3 nines fine or 4 nines fine silver. Either way, you're getting 1 ounce of silver. So either way, they're going to both weigh a little bit over 1 ounce, or they should weigh a little bit greater than 1 ounce. And the refinedness doesn't really necessarily matter. So some people will argue, well, the 3 nines fine actually has a little bit more copper than the 4 nines fine, so aren't you getting more silver? It doesn't matter. Either way, they're over 1 ounce. And do you know how many ounces you're going to have to stack to really make any sort of difference? I mean, you're going to have to stack hundreds of thousands of ounces of silver to even see a fraction of a difference between the two. So in my opinion, is it better to stack 3 nines fine or 4 nines fine? Well, it doesn't really matter. It's whatever you prefer. Now, some people have said 4 nines fine silver actually milk spots more than 3 nines fine silver. And what I want to say to that is, yeah, a lot of these Canadian maple leafs are milk spotted. You can see the like milk spot right there. But these are the ones in 2017, and the Royal Canadian Mint even said they didn't care about milk spots. They weren't worried about quality control. They stepped up their game in 2018, and I haven't seen any on mine. These kookaburras from the Perth Mint, they have great quality control over at the Perth Mint. These are 4 nines fine silver. I've never seen a kookaburra milk spot. And so I think it's more the quality control of the mint, not necessarily how fine the silver is when we're talking about milk spotting. Same goes for 3/9 fine. A lot of 3/9 fine coins or rounds will milk spot, like a lot of stuff from Scottsdale Mint. It just depends on the mint it comes from. It doesn't matter how fine the silver is. So if you're wanting to stack one or the other, go for it. That's totally up to you. But like I said, it really doesn't matter how much it's refined, as if we're talking weight in silver for how much weight you can stack. Okay, so let's get to the thing I mentioned at the start. When do I think it's vitally important to stack 4/9 fine silver? And there's really only one scenario that I think that would be important to do. And the one single scenario is if we ever have an end of the world situation and you actually need to make colloidal silver for medicine. It's easier and better to do that with 4/9 fine silver. I'm not even joking. If you don't know what colloidal silver is, that's what people have been doing for thousands of years as sort of a natural antibiotic. And they'll take the silver, they'll run electricity through it in distilled water, and they'll make a certain amount of parts per million of silver in the water and drink that to help with infections and all sorts of stuff. So I'm not a really big believer in colloidal silver, but I will say from the research that I've done, it's actually better to do it with 4/9 fine silver. And do you know how much colloidal silver you can make with this one coin? You could make more than you could ever drink, really. I mean, you could make so much colloidal silver with just one of these. So if you have one 4/9 fine piece of silver in your stack, you're good to go as far as colloidal silver is concerned. If there's an end of the world situation, you need to make your own natural antibiotics. Okay, but other than that, it doesn't matter. Buy 3/9 fine, buy 4/9 fine, literally doesn't matter. But anyway, this video is all really just my opinion, so take it for that. Definitely leave a comment. I'd love to know your thoughts on the subject. What's better to stack, 3/9 fine silver or 4/9 fine silver? Doesn't matter. I contend that it literally doesn't matter at all from all the research I've done. So yeah, that's the video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Silver baggins out.